Good evening, everybody. This is Digvijay Sonavne along with Chi presenting before you Big Data Problem and Analysis. Starting with the introduction, what is big data? Data of a very large size, typically to the extent that its manipulation and management present significant logistical challenges. The concept of the big data given by SAS describes that while the term big data is relatively new, the act of gathering and storing large amounts of information for eventual analysis is ages old. The concept gained momentum in the early 2000s when the industry analyst Doug Lenny articulated the now mainstream definition of big data as the three V's. What are the three V's? Velocity, volume, and variety are the three V's. Talking of the volume, organizations collect data from a variety of sources, including business transactions, social media, and information from sensors to machine data. In the past, storing it would have been a big problem, but new technologies such as Hadoop have eased the burden. Talking about the velocity, data streams in an unprecedented speed and must be dealt with in a timely manner. RFID tags, sensors, and smart metering are driving the need to deal with torrent of data in real time. The variety of the big data states that data comes in all types of formats such as structured numeric data in traditional databases to the unstructured text documents, emails, videos, audios, and etc. There are two more dimensions stated by SAS which are variability and complexity. Variability can be defined as in the addition to the increasing velocities and the varieties of data flows can be highly inconsistent with periodic peaks. Is something trending in social media? Daily, season, and even frequent peak data loads can be challenging to manage, even more so with an unstructured data. Complexity. This data comes from the multiple sources which makes it difficult to link, match, cleanse, and transform data across systems. However, it's necessary to connect and correlate relationship, hierarchies, and multiple data linkages, or data can quickly spiral out of control. Now we'll start with how big data works. There are three main concepts in the working of big data: integrate, manage, and analyze. Starting with integrate. Big data brings together data from many disparate sources and applications. Traditional data integration mechanisms such as ETL, extract, transform, and load generally aren't up to the task. It requires new strategies, technologies to analyze big data sets at terabyte or even petabyte scale. During integration, you need to bring the data, process it, and make sure it's formatted and available in a form that your business analyst can get started with. Moving forward to the manage. Big data requires storage. Your storage solution can be in the cloud, on the premise, or both. You can store your data in any form you want and bring your desired processing requirements and necessary process engines to those data sets on an on-demand basis. People choose their storage solutions according to their data is currently residing. The cloud is gradually gaining popularity because it supports your current compute requirements and enables you to spin up resources as needed. Talking of the analyze, your investment in a big data pays off when you analyze and act on your data. Get new clarity with a visual analysis of your varied datasets. Explore the data further to make new discoveries. Share your findings with others. Build data models with machine learning and artificial intelligence. Put your data to work. Here's an example. Your super cool big data analytics looks like at what item pairs people buy solely based on your historical data about the customer behavior. Meanwhile, on Instagram, a certain soccer player posts his new look and the two characteristics things he is wearing, that is the white Nike sneakers and a bean cap. He looks good in them, and people who see that want to look this way as well. Thus, they rush to buy a similar pair of sneakers and a similar cap. But in your store, you have only the sneakers. As a result, you lose revenue and maybe some loyal customers. So the solution for this is the reason that you fail to have the needed items in stock is that your big data and tool doesn't analyze data from the social networks and competitors' web stores. while your rivals big data, among other things, does know trends in social media in near real time. And the store have both the items and even offer 50% discount if you buy both. The idea here is that you need to create a proper system of factors and data sources whose analysis will bring the needed insights and ensure that nothing falls apart and out of scope. Such a system should often include external sources, even if they may be difficult to obtain and analyze external data.
Hi everyone, it's Chi. I will talk a little about the problems in big data analysis. It is difficult to finding the signal in the noise of big data. In order to use big data, there has to be a dissembled signal in the noise that you can detect, and sometimes there just isn't one. We have to come back and say we just didn't measure this right or measure the wrong variables because there's nothing we can detect here. And the second big problem is the data silos, as can be seen from the screen. What they do is to store all of the wonderful data you have captured in separate. They have nothing to do with one another, and therefore no insights can be gathered from this data because it simply isn't integrated on the back end. Data silos are the reason you have two number crunch to produce a monthly sales report, and they are the reason that your customers are looking someone else to take their business because they don't feel their needs are being met, and a smaller, more accurate company is offering something better. The way to eliminate data silos is just to integrate your data. The third big problem in analyzing the big data is the privacy. The actions taken by business and other organizations as a result of a big data analytics may breach the privacy of those involved and lead to embarrassments and even lost jobs. Consider that some retailers have used big data analysis to predict such intimate personal details such as the due date of pregnant shoppers. In such case, subsequently making activities result in having members of the household discover a family member was pregnant before she had told anyone, resulting in an uncomfortable and damaging family situation. Retailers and other types of business should not take actions that result in such situations. The next problem is the data accuracies. According to a most recent report from Experian Data Quality, 75% of the business believe their customer contact information is incorrect. If you have got a database full of inaccurate customer data, you may as well have no data at all. The best way to combat inaccurate data is to eliminating the data silos by integrating your data. And the next is the technologies moves too fast. Large corporations are more prey to data silos for such reasons as they prefer to keep their database on premises, and because decision making about new technologies is often slow. And we also lack of skilled workers. According to report, there are 37% of companies have trouble in finding skilled data analysis to make use of their data. The best bet is to form one common data analysis team for the company, either through reskilling your current worker or recruiting new workers who specialize in big data. You need to find employees that not only understand data from a specific perspective, but who also understand business and its customers and how their data findings apply directly to them. Alright, let's turn to the recommendations in solving the problems of big data. And there's a whole bunch of techniques to cleansing data. But first things first, your big data needs to have a proper model. Only after creating that, you can go ahead and do the things like compare the data to the single point of truth, match the records and merge them if they related to the same entities. And this is the simple ways to solve the first problems. For the second one, the best way to solve your big data security problem is to put in security first. It is particularly important at the stage of designing your solutions architecture. Because if you don't get along with big data security from the very start, it will bite you when you least expected it. And for the last one, the reason you fail to have the needed items in stock is that your big data tools doesn't analyzing data from social networks or competitors' web stores. While your rivals' big data, among other things, does know the trends in social media in near real time, and their shops have both items and even offers a 15 discount if you buy both. The idea here is that you need to create a proper systems of factors and data sources whose analysis will bring the needs insights and ensure that nothing falls out of the scope. Such a system could often include external resource, even if it may be difficult to obtain and analyze external data. And here are our references. And any questions?